Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with your daily transfer roundup. That seems to be ever changing. I could do it in the morning, I could do it in the afternoon, I could do it in the evening, and there will still be news on Aston Villa at this moment in time. Still haven't signed anyone, but we're looking closer, and names are getting announced all the time as to who we are interested in. Make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're literally, I think we're 15 away from 5,000 subscribers. Please help us get there. It'd be amazing to hit that 5K. Then the next stop's 10K, but hitting that 5K will just be incredible. So do like, do subscribe, and get your comments in. The latest news on the players linked to Aston Villa. Now, I talked yesterday about Douglas Luiz, and could it potentially be a return to Aston Villa for a player who played so well for us last season, particularly the first half of last season, and was excellent to the second half of the season previously, and went to Juventus. It was clear that Aston Villa didn't really want to sell him. Obviously tried to do some deals with getting players in return. It's Samuel Ealing Jr., Enzo Boyanachea, but they've obviously gone out on loan. So it was clear to see that Douglas Luiz was done to satisfy the PSR rules. Now, Monchi had mentioned if there was something to be done in terms of bringing him back, he would be interested. He would be open to that idea. And it seems like he hasn't settled at Juventus. He hasn't really forced his way into the team. And they have confirmed that he is available for a transfer or a loan with a potential transfer fee at the end of the season back away from the club. So Aston Villa have been named as one of the clubs interested. I believe Manchester City are also interested, and I have heard rumblings of Manchester United also interested, as well as clubs like West Ham. But, with the situation at West Ham, I can't see anything materialising with them. And with the connection that he has with Aston Villa, it could be something that could be done. Now, whether that would mean players would have to be moved on, whether that means that we'd have to do some manoeuvring, or what we would be able to guarantee him in terms of first team football, that would be difficult to say. But look, if we've been named as a club that's potentially interested in him, then Unai Emery obviously sees something that we could potentially do with him. Now, where that leaves players like Amadou Onana, where that leaves players like John McGinn, obviously Yuri Tielemans is the main midfielder along with Boubacar Kamara. We've obviously got Ross Barkley, who's come in and done very well. But with Champions League, with FA Cup potentially, although I don't know how seriously we'll take this after Friday. But if we go through in that game, there's a potential extra game there. Champions League, we get through, whether it be the playoff stage, whether it be straight through to the last 16, there's extra games there. So could we utilise someone like Douglas Luiz? Of course we could. Whether I see it happening, I still can't see it. But it'd be interesting to see if we could do something. Now, Emery hasn't really been forthcoming with loan moves. It doesn't seem like he's that keen on these loan moves. He's okay with loaning players out, but whether he's interested in loaning players in remains to be seen as well. So watch this space with that one. Yesterday, a lot of people were saying in the comments they didn't see it happening, they couldn't see it happening, and we've got enough midfielders. It's not the area that we need to improve on. But let me know your thoughts now. Would it be something that you would be open to? Would it be something that you could see potentially happening? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, a player who is obviously looking like he's on his way out is Jaden Philogene. And again, I've mentioned him a couple of times on these transfer roundups, hasn't really set the world alight in terms of his development, signing from Hull. Obviously, Ipswich were interested and had a deal done in the summer, but we ended up getting him for a cut price deal. And it's now emerged that Everton are talking to Aston Villa about signing him, not necessarily on loan either, on a permanent transfer. So could I see that happening? Yes. Now, depending on the fee, we'd obviously be looking to make some money out of it. So could it be 15, 16 million, something like that? Could it be the loan with the obligation to buy at the end of the season? maybe see how he plays and then encourage other clubs to come in for him. We'll wait and see. But that does look like it's going to happen, that Jaden Philogene is going to be on his way out. And that probably signals Donyell Marlon coming in. Now, agreement has been made between Aston Villa and the player. Terms have been agreed. And it also is now being reported in the German press, Sky Sports News, all of that. All the journalists are also saying that it's pretty much that Aston Villa and Borussia Dortmund have come to the agreement, and it's looking like around about £25 million. So 28 million-ish euros, 28, 29 million euros. I'm sure it'll be stated as an undisclosed fee. Whether it's up to that amount in terms of the bonuses and the add-ons, or whether it is a significant transfer with those added on, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm quite pleased with that signing. Obviously, understands English football, has been part of Arsenal's academy, so could come in and do well, and wants to probably reignite his career, probably wants to prove some people wrong at Dortmund, So that could be a good move, and obviously always signals intent with Unai Emery, also pushes the players like Leon Bailey, pushes players like Morgan Rogers on, and if it means kind of moving Jaden Philogene on to bring him in, then look, it's a Champions League level player at the end of the day. It's a Dutch international that will add to the squad. We're also seeing Kostin Nedeljkovic looking like he's going out on loan to Valencia now, interested. However, Unai Emery has said that he won't sanction the loan until we've signed a right back. So we've talked about Mingueza, we've talked about Wesley, and could that be something that's been done? Wesley Francha, I always forget his surname. I keep thinking about Wesley, our old Wesley. But yeah, so that could be done. I'm probably leaning towards Oscar Mingueza, to be fair, in terms of, I don't know anything too much about either player, but in terms of, I guess, the realistic transfer, obviously Unai Emery having some knowledge of him, Monchi having knowledge of him, and him having already played in a higher level league and, used to the style of football sort of thing, I could see maybe Mingueza being done more readily than Wesley Francha. But we'll wait and see. There could be other people, other players that we're interested in. I don't know, maybe a Carl Walker-Peters maybe could potentially jump onto the radar. Who knows? I'm not sure on him. I don't know if he's had a particularly good season, to be honest with you, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, a couple of other players who have also attracted interest from Aston Villa. One of them, an extremely highly rated player, and I would absolutely love it if we managed to sign him, Omar Mamush. But he looks like he's Man City bound. Looks like Man City are looking at tying up a deal for him, I think, in the region of £50 million. But it's good to be linked with these type of players. He's currently, I think, the second top scorer in the Bundesliga, plays for Eintracht Frankfurt at the moment, has played for Wolfsburg, for their B team and for their first team, scoring with their first team 41 appearances, scoring 5 goals. Also went on loan to FC St. Pauli and VfB Stuttgart, scoring goals there. But then in 2023, really kind of settled in Eintracht Frankfurt and has now scored 25 goals in 44 appearances. Egyptian international, has scored 6 goals in 35 appearances. And is 25 years of age, so he's probably now really coming into the prime of his career. Now, if we look at his SOFA score, we'll see that he has had an excellent start to the season and can see why clubs are now really sort of looking at being interested with him. Striker, direct free kicks, penalty taking and positioning being his main strengths. Does say weaknesses as ball control, which is interesting, but does play across the pitch, so can operate across the front line. Also, obviously gets in the box as well. Has had 15 starts in the Bundesliga and has appeared in the team of the week 6 times. So that shows you what a good season he's having so far. 13 goals scored, 8 big chances missed. So could have had a lot more. 11 goals from inside the box, 2 from outside the box, 11 with his right foot, 2 with his left foot, 7 assists as well, and 9 big chances created. So he's having a fantastic season. 79% accuracy per game, 83% passing in his own half, 66% in the opposition half. Obviously doesn't venture into his own half very often. And then in terms of his dribbles, high 50% they're successful dribbles, and duels won at 55 and 57% on ground duels is very, very good as well. So look, really, really highly rated player. You guys let me know your thoughts. Would you be, obviously we'd be interested, but could you see something like that happening? I think it's Fabrizio Romano or a couple of journalists have mentioned that Aston Villa are potentially in the market for a striker. Kolo Muani's been named. We have been in contact with PSG over him. Now, could this be a surprise move for someone like Marmoush? Obviously, if Man City come calling, you've got to say that he would go there. But you just never know. Now, what does that mean for the likes of John Duran? What does that mean for Aston Villa balancing the books? I also I talked about the other day, John Duran may be moving, having a meeting in regards to PSG and Kolo Muani coming in the other direction alongside us receiving some money. Now, could that potentially be done? Could a big transfer be done for Aston Villa and then we look to bring someone in of reputable value? Who knows? Now, the final player I'll talk about is Charles de Ketelaere. Now, we talked about him, I think in the summer we were linked with him, and this one could be done in the summer again as well. But worth looking at, 6'4", only 23 years of age, attacking midfielder or forward, has played 17 times this season for Atalanta after being on loan with them last season, scoring 10 goals in 35 games. Real breakthrough season last season, and seems to have carried on that run. Before that, I played for Bruges, scoring 19 goals in 90 appearances, then went to AC Milan, only played 32 times, but has represented Belgium at all levels, and now has 20 caps and 2 goals scored for his country. Now, we obviously have Amadou Onana, we obviously have Yuri Tielemans, so someone like this could be. We also have Leander Dendoncker, I was just thinking there, but obviously he's not with us, with the team at the moment. But de Ketelaere obviously could settle in. He knows those two players very, very well from international duty, so it could be a seamless move, but maybe one more in the summer. Again, looking at his SofaScore statistics, plays for Atalanta, as I said, attacking midfielder or forward or striker as they've got there. Again, high pressing as a strength, playmaking, positioning, obviously a strong physical presence as well, left-footed predominantly, but does operate on that right-hand side for Atalanta. I'd say they're cutting inside into the box as well. 15 starts from 17 games played, 5 goals scored this season, 4 big chances missed, 3 with his head, 2 with his left foot, so obviously strong presence in the air, obviously with his height. 5 assists as well, 9 big chances created, 79% passing accuracy, 85% in his own half and 75% in the opposition half. We know Italian teams, Atalanta, quite accurate, quite technical ability as well, so would probably suit Unai Emery's style in terms of that crisp passing and incisive passing, so that's very good as well. And then in terms of the ground duels, obviously 42% and 49% in terms of aerial duels won. So maybe something to improve there. Maybe some strength and some kind of tenacity would be good. But look, obviously a very, very, very good player. So again, someone to keep an eye on as to whether we could do something in January. I don't know, but maybe one to look at more in the summer. Obviously, Diego Carlos is still a potential departure in this January window. Fenerbahce now saying that they're looking at offering around £8 million. So that could be something that could be done. I reckon we'd probably aim for about 10 million. So watch this space on that one. And does that allow us to bring in another defender to compete with Mings, Concert and Pau Torres, obviously with Pau Torres being injured. So again, it's a watch this space on that one, but lots of activity for Aston Villa and very, very interesting to see us really linked with a number of players. But hopefully we get 1 or 2 over the line this week. Check out our show later on tonight. We will be talking to Jacob Tanswell from The Athletic, so we'll get the lowdown on all of these signings, all of these potential transfers, what is happening behind the scenes at Aston Villa. So make sure you stay tuned to that 9:30 tonight live fans forum special. Can't wait for it. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. As I said before, we're literally 15 away from 5,000 subscribers. If we could do it tonight, that would be absolutely amazing. Get your comments in as well. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.